Federal and Northern Territory politicians are united in their view that the best way to reduce dysfunction and disadvantage in remote Indigenous communities is to get people off the dole and back to work. They're divided on how to do it. Labor favours restricting the use of welfare while supporting Indigenous businesses. The opposition says it's time to turn the welfare tap off. Jane Bardon reports from Wadeye.
The Territory's biggest Indigenous community is in the middle of a building boom. Wadeye is one of 20 growth towns, remote communities pinpointed by the Territory government to become economic and service delivery centres for their regions. At Wadeye, new suburbs, a boarding school and new business centres are under construction.
It's spiralling up and it knows it is, and is very proud of what it's achieved in such a short time.
Much of the development has been funded by the Territory and federal governments, but this community is also growing its own economy, with Indigenous-owned businesses that are making money and offering jobs to locals.
Yeah, the post office, for example, is a very successful, viable business. It's self-sustainable. So the mechanical workshop is the same. The accommodation, the fuel supplies, and employment training services, housing construction, they're all profitable businesses.
Clifford Gilbert is one local excited to have a job with the Tarma Development Corporation, set up 4 years ago by Wadeye's 20 clans to establish businesses and provide jobs. Its newest business is converting a government housing workers camp into a hotel.
I like to go work anywhere. I can work building construction or carpenter, that, or mowing some lawn, doing weedings.
But 4 other young people who started work with Clifford Gilbert have already dropped out.
They just like staying home, not doing anything.
Room service.
The corporation has had to bring in workers. It's been unable to attract enough locals from the community of 3,000 residents to fill all of the jobs.
65% of our workforce is local people, and it's a total of around 90 in numbers.
Just very worried about the young people. They got no job. They don't do anything but they're boring.
The Tarma Development Corporation isn't the only organisation having trouble finding enough local workers. Outside companies which have won contracts, like building the local boarding school, also find it difficult to keep locals.
I haven't seen much local employment happening there since I've been there, which is disappointing.
The federal and territory governments have said mining and gas developments will provide more Indigenous employment. A major operation processing gas from the Blacktip field has been established a few kilometres from Wadeye, but no locals work at the plant.
Wadeye doesn't have or wasn't prepared to skill set to working in gas plants.
ENI says it did train 37 local people. Some worked on constructing the plant and some now work in other local businesses. John BERTO says ENI employs the corporation's rangers to monitor its offshore export pipeline, but its plant jobs don't suit local people.
10-hour working days was just too hard for 6 days a week, and they weren't flexible on that at all.
The Tarma Development Corporation is trialling more flexible working conditions to encourage local employment.
These are hives we've taken in from the bush.
Rangers and locals already collect bush food, including honey, to sell. The corporation is building a new wildlife products processing plant.
They're going to make native food into medicines or any other type of things.
The employees will be paid for piecework.
So we're looking at people being paid for the work they do rather than being on a flat salary. So people will be paid to produce per bar of soap or for the eggs they collect or the fruit they collect.
In an effort to create more jobs, Wadeye's traditional owners have also established the community store. They hope working here will help young people regain a sense of pride, which will enable them to establish more businesses.
Like today I seen one young one in serving the till. And I said, wow, this is for a starting point.
THEODORA NANDU says if her grandchildren are to build Wadey's economy, they'll need more training.
We need that strength and that support coming in from the government side.
Because of the education standard of our people, that it's going to take decades to get our kids up to where they should be and provide the workforce.
The Tamara Development Corporation says it's hard to get the trainers to stay. The corporation tried to set up a hair salon in Wadeye and failed.
To get a hairdresser permanently in town, maybe stay for 1 or 2 or 3 years, train local people in hairdressing it's easy said than done.
Wadeye locals also own the Women's Association's Arts Centre. The centre relies on the federal government-funded CDEP employment programme, which allows people to draw the dole while earning extra money. The government's considering cutting CDEP. That would be a major blow for the centre.
I really dearly wish that there were other jobs that they could go to beyond here. And all I can do is try and get us built up as much as possible so that our retail turnover is greater.
The federal and territory opposition are proposing an even tougher plan. They want Indigenous people to be forced to take jobs or lose their welfare payments.
There's a lot of people here that are unemployed. There's just simply not enough jobs to go around, so you just cannot turn off the welfare tap without their creating a big problem.
Instead of docking welfare, Labour says it will find more government jobs for locals. But the manager of Wadeye's council-run swimming pool says efforts to employ locals have been lacklustre.
We get rid of 50% of the white people here and give those jobs to locals and say, if you can't do it, then we will close it down. And I bet you within a matter of a couple of weeks, they would be running it.
Wadeye's future plans include a subdivision for Catholic education teacher houses. The Northern Land Council says with government-commissioned house building slowing down, such ventures will be a challenge.
Congratulations to the community there in constructing those houses. However, from a commercial perspective and the viability of business enterprises occurring out on Wadeye is yet to be seen.
10 years' time, when this population is doubled, where are they all going to go? Where are they going to get to work?
The Tamara Development Corporation says Wadeye is heading in the right direction, but real change will take time.
Maybe 20, 50 odd years, it's going to take a long time, but nevertheless the community is heading in the right direction.
Jane Bardon with that story.